What's going on, guys? Today I want to kind of talk about my offensive philosophy I'm going to be doing this year at the high school level. As most of you know, I'm the associate head coach at Cary Academy. I run the offense and skill development. This past weekend we went to a fast basketball clinic at Pfeiffer University. It was great. Kind of reaffirmed and reassured me of my commitment to running. As being a running team, last year we kind of switched, made the transition, decided to run more. Not often as I would like, but we ran, and was pretty effective. We ended up being about 1.1 points per possession in transition. We actually were about 1.1 in the half court as well, so there wasn't too much of an advantage in that scenario. I think we were better in the half court. We had a pretty good player last year. But this year we're going to be a younger team, and I think we're going to be all the same size. So being able to run is going to be super important for us this year. So what we're going to look at is just kind of I created a little PDF for some of the program, some of the other coaches in the program, and also for you guys as well. So in this breakdown, this will be a member exclusive. I'm not going to sell this to anybody. I just want to kind of give this to you guys as thanks for being members. And so in this breakdown, you'll get a PDF, this video that you're obviously watching, as well as the full playbook of everything, and then some video of us doing some of the drills and things if I can get that. Because it's hard because some of the videos are transitions, so they're all up and down. So sometimes I may not have exact video, but I'll walk through every single drill that we do and kind of the intent and purpose. And that was kind of our goal this year. When we talked about it as a coaching staff, we went to Kevin Eastman's clinic, his development. And we talked about, as a staff, having an intent and a purpose behind everything we do, and making sure our kids know the intent and the purpose of everything we do. So that's a big thing for us this year as a staff, and I'm really excited to kind of give that to the kids, because I think the learning will be accelerated through that. So we'll just go through this PDF here real quick, and kind of go over some of the general stuff, and then I'll go into fast draw and talk about more detailed of what I'm looking for. There'll also be a video playbook as well as that. I don't think I mentioned that, but I did like a video edit for all the coaches, so that way they could have their own experience with it, and that way you can learn. If you learn in multiple ways, you can kind of see whatever way you like to learn and take that. So I did our three main topics were run, flow and go, and then space and pace. So the run is pretty simple. You want to run no matter what. We had a goal last year of getting the ball across half court within 3 seconds with a dribble or pass. Didn't matter. We just wanted to continually put pressure on the defense. I love the emphasis of sprinting the floor every possession. I stole it from Chip Kelly. He was doing some interviews when he was at Oregon. He was talking about guys have to, wide receivers and running backs, they have to cut and make their routes like they're going to score the ball or catch the ball every single possession. And something that I've took to our team, where it's like we have to be able to, you guys have to run and cut and sprint like you're going to score every single time. Your parents won't notice that you do that, and you may give us an extra 10 to 12 points a game just by cutting and flattening out to the corner. But a coach will, we'll let you know you're doing your job and you're doing it great, but you're going to have to make some sacrifices, because all parents and other, your peers are going to care about how many points did you score, did you guys win, versus just doing your job every possession, which is a battle that we're fighting. So the main focus for us this year is rim run, pitch ahead passes. I did a Kendall Marshall edit from when he was at UNC and put that on my YouTube page. I'll link that in here as well. And then some pistols and drags as time goes along, as we get more comfortable with the running. We want to kind of incorporate some random actions in there, some drag ball screens, some pistols. But for the most part, we're just focused on the primary rim run and pitch aheads and then trails. Now the flow and go aspect of it for me comes, last year we didn't do a very good job of how do we transition from our transition, basically. So once all the primary break options are exhausted, how do we flow and get into that next action or that next thing that we're doing? So focus on actions versus sets and plays. We're going to still have some sets and plays, and I'll get into that and things like that. But basically just the how do we flow and go into our spacing, driving, and exploring. So those are the actions that we got. We got pistols, Miami action, fists, cuts, and screens. For the most part, we're going to be just straight driving, kick for the first 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to go 5-out dribble drive. I went to the clinic that I was at, Newberry College, Pfeiffer College. They both do 5-out dribble drive. And then the new coach at Young Harris College this year is going to be doing that. He was at Pfeiffer before. But those 3 colleges, if you have Synergy, look those up. I have the video edit. It has those colleges on there. I'm going to try to do a more detailed edit of what they do. but they do everything 5 out, dribble drive, sometimes 4 out, depending on the personnel. But it's great stuff. So we go space and pace. Our 5 out spacing is everything. We're going to do the Philadelphia 76ers, put in a 4-point line, and that's where we finish our cuts out, not necessarily to shoot from, but the NBA 3-point line and that 4-point line will be where we want to finish our cuts and really, really get out. And I showcased some of that yesterday. Hopefully I'll be able to include that clip in here. But basically, when you're tight on 3-point line compared to when you're 2 or 3 steps back, we want to try to catch the ball going downhill, so I don't really care how far back they get. We want to catch the ball downhill unless your defender's sagging off. Now we're just stepping into shots, and I think that's a pretty effective way to shoot the ball. Okay, so right here, white guard probably want to be above the white line. Okay, so you guys can just operate. Guys, the wings, literally not how high you get. Right, you don't want to get too far, push it back. Okay, that's over there. All we want to do is get this guy room to operate the ball. Okay? Normally in 5 out, take one to the top. Go to the lead, okay. Do that, right? You just, if I'm guarding here, I can guard deep. Right? I mean, if I'm guarding here, I can guard 3 feet. And now, that's your real positions. I'm guarding here now. Right now, I'm not guarding him. He's doing this thing. I'm moving track. Okay? Our goal is basically equal on the dribble and try and get. Favorite phrase: when in doubt, spread out. Get out of the way. The ball's coming at you. Just get out of the way. It's pretty simple. We need to always continually kind of push the defense and have a good pace. So when we space and spread out, we need to be able to make decisions in 1 second. I know the Spurs do like 0.5, and Messina has a clinic on that, and that's been exhaustively talked about. I think 0.5 at the high school level is a little unreal. Maybe at college when you got guys who have been playing for a little longer, but we're going to have, we might start 2 freshmen this year. So just having a 1 second decision making, kind of reading basically whether to shoot or drive is kind of the option I wanted them to have to start off. And then from there, you can get more detailed cutter or whatever we're looking at from there. So first thing we're looking at is transition offense. So how we run. So my terms for transition offense, the general is the point guard. He's the guy who's in charge, right? Rim run, guy that runs the rim. Doesn't have to be big. It just has to be somebody who wants to basically run from rim to opposite rim and never stop doing that all game long. Last year we were blessed with a kid who was he's running cross country in college right now. So he'd run 4 or 5 miles before practice, be our rim runner in practice, and then go home. He was pretty insane with that, and we were just so blessed to have that. My wings I call flats because we run to the corner, so I want to flatten out the defense. So I think the term flat is appropriate because if I just called them wings or whatever, they just think we're running on the wing or maybe stopping on the wing. But if we say we want to flatten the defense out and flats are you doing your job, you can ask, it's just a little bit easier for them to remember and for me to remember that we want to flatten the defense out. And the trail man is the only guy who doesn't have to sprint for me. I think he's always the inbounder, and we're going to try to put our best shooter there this year. We got a lot of trail threes last year. If we don't have an effective rim run this year, which may be the case, we are going to then just have basically all 2 guys trail. So all 5 kind of starting 5 out. But I want to have a rim run guy to start just to give him the opportunity to score through that. But the trail guy is the only guy that doesn't have to sprint. He trails the play, looking for trail threes, step in threes, and we got a good kid who can put there who's also going to be a good inbounder for us. The priority of the spots. So here you see rim runs, first priority. We'll try to throw the ball to the rim. Second is the flats, running up the floor on the wings or in the corners. We want to kind of pitch the ball ahead with a pass. The third option is if those are exhausted, then we kind of go to the rim. Then the fourth option would be the trail man. If we've kind of tried to go to the rim, we're stopped. Usually we can drive right at the trail man's defender, and he's going to get sucked in and then do a little pitch. You'll see that in the video playbook as well. So we'll go into some of the drills that we like to do. I call them tempo drills. I studied college football and how they ran spread and their tempo and the fast-paced offense at the college level. And I like the name tempo drills instead of like fast drills or speed drills or whatever, and we do have a drill named speed drill, but I like the term tempo, so that way we always try and let them know we're trying to dictate the tempo. That's why we're doing tempo drills. So we start every day in practice 2 on 0. So we got 2 on 0, and then sometimes we go 3 on 0, then 5 on 0, and then we'll add some decision making, some different types of like build up drills and things like that we'll go over. So the first one we just do 2 on 0. Guard throws the ball off the backboard, outlets. When he hits the outlet, he sprints around him. We usually have cones. So on the PDF here, like where the hand is, we usually have a cone here and a cone here, leaving like maybe that much space, literally that much space on the court for them to run around it. Really, really stressing to get running as wide as possible at all times, because we want to have spacing as soon as we get the ball in the full court, not just the half court. So the first one we do tempo layups. So when they get to the free throw line, the opposite free throw line here on the dribble, first off we want to, on the catch, we want to yell outlet, 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 communicating that they're there. And then on the catch, we want them to take a quick bust out dribble, which is a quick hard dribble to the middle looking to attack, because if they can go right to the rim, that's more power to them. We're going to want them to do that. If they can't get to the rim, which is 90% of the time it's going to happen, we're not going to get to the rim or pitch it ahead. We want them at the opposite free throw line, jump stopping, making a nice crisp bounce pass in transition. Finish a right hand layup, finish a left hand layup, and we'll usually do this 2 or 3 times through, and then we do this for each side too. So we're getting left hand layups and right hand layups. The next one is pull ups. So same action, outlet, bust out, dribble, jump stop. This one we want maybe a chest pass, just so we can get the ball so we're catching and shooting. We don't practice shooting the ball off the bounce pass, but if you do that, then you can incorporate the bounce pass here. We usually just throw a chest pass. And the next one's corner threes, so we drive and kick corner threes. And then after this, we can sometimes do 3 on 0, depending. We might do a rim run drill. For the most part, I think we just kind of stuck with the 2 on 0. But what you can do off of this one is, after that initial jump stop and kick to the corner, have the guy who catches in the corner drive, and the guy who passed it relocate or fill up behind him, and do an extra pass 3, work on some extra footwork and some of that stuff you're doing. I think we did that a couple times. We like to change it up like that just to keep the kids kind of fresh. The next one's probably my favorite drill that we did this off season and we're going to do this year. Call it Rockets drill, where you're going to have one has the ball on the wing, X1, his defender is on his shoulder. So if I'm here, he would be almost behind me on my shoulder just a little bit, not too much. We're playing 4 on 3 with a trailer. So we play 4 on 3 with a trailer. So we have the corners filled and then the opposite slot filled. We want to start off in the good spacing. Whatever defensive principles you play, have them in that position. We're like a pack line team, so we play in our pack principles here, and just try to decide where the helps comes from, what the rotations are. You play 4 on 3. We like to get a shot within 3 to 4 seconds. Don't waste any time. Drive and kick, find the open guy. Just make it real quick. Where the Rockets, I think, aspect comes in where they run is after the shot. Now we're in conversion, where we're going to play 4 on 4 or 5 on 4 the opposite way. So you see 5 at half court here. He's going to actually be waiting on the shot. He releases, and he's now the rim runner on the opposite side of the floor. So we go transition. If it's a made shot, we take the ball out. If it's a miss, we're running. There's no second shots for the offense. So the offense converts to defense. Now we're playing 5 on 4 the other way. And then what we can do is you can add a trailer into that as well. So you can have the rim runner guy have a defender here, and he would be after the ball crosses half court. That's when he comes into play and is now the trailer defender, and we're 5 on 5. So that's Rockets drill +1. Now with this drill, what I like is we have threes are worth 3 points, pull-ups are worth 1, because I hate the mid-range at the high school level, at any level right now. We've done the math, and it does not work for us. I mean, we're not efficient enough at all. So we try to avoid that. If we got a good kid who can shoot it, then sure, but you really got to shoot 60% at the high school level for it to be worthwhile, and nobody really does that. So pull-ups are worth 1, layups are worth 2, and the rim runs are worth 5. Games go to 10. So if you get the rim run twice, you win, and the other team runs. So we keep score, we keep it competitive. One of my favorite drills to do, and you can build this up. You can do like a 3 on 2, a 4 on 3, 5 on 4 plus the rim runner, and do different scenarios and things like that. Like one time we may have to say we need to pierce the dome 3 times, and then we get a driving kick shot, or we start off with like maybe our horn set. or some sort of advantage like that, where we come off a ball screen and that guy has to trail. Now we created an advantage, and then we're playing from there. Just certain things like that you can get creative with. Stole this from Fred Hoiberg, called the speed drill. There is a YouTube link that I can send you that is really good. I don't claim to have invented this in any way, shape, or form, but basically, you've got you got two cones on one side. So in this scenario, we're going to be on the right side of the floor if we're looking at this right now. All right. So here we got the cones on the right side of the floor, usually almost like the wing lane line extended, but we want to push them out, far out towards half court, just because we want our guys to emphasize running wide and continue to run wide no matter what. So we got one with the ball. He's going to hit two on the outlet. Three is then going to sprint around the cones for a layup. The ball shouldn't hit the floor. The players under the rim, in this case 4 and 5, so 4 would take the ball out of the net, outlet to the next outlet guy on that same side, right? And then the guy who passed it, so in this scenario 2, who passed it is now going to be the guy who loops around off the cones for a layup. So you've got basically line underneath the basket, line an outlet, and then we've got the two cones, but there's no lines on the right-hand side. And then that drill just continues. So you're going to see 2 is going to run off for the layup. The player underneath that basket is going to step in, grab the ball out of the net, throw to the outlet guy. Outlet guy is then going to hit the player who passed the 2 running around the cones. It really emphasizes sprinting in transition. It's extremely good and one of my favorite drills, and we do it every single day, and we're going to continue to do it every single day, and we're going to have challenges. So we'll figure out what our baseline data is for what this team is making and make it challenging. So we usually add 10 to it at first, just to give them something. So it's definitely going to be failure, but it gives something to strive for. Maybe that make it even to where it's like 5, where we know they can get it, but it also pushes them a little bit more. This is one of my favorite ones. I think we call this D'Antoni drill. We don't call it free throw build. But it starts off with 1 shooting a free throw, 2 and 3 are rebounders. On the free throw make or miss, we're in transition. We're 2-on-1. And we've got the white team, or I guess the clear circles in this scenario, are going to be coming back 3-on-2. So no matter what, 1 shot. So 2-on-1, black team's on offense. 1 shot. Then we're coming back 3-on-2. So 2 guys join in. The next scenario, we got 3-on-2, so then 2 more guys join in on the black team. So make or miss, 2 guys. Now we're converting 4-on-3. 2 more guys step in after that, and we build it up so that the two more clear or white team would step in, and now we're 5-on-4. Then the last guy would come in, and now we're 5-on-5. And then we can run it from there. We can run any sets or anything we want, or just kind of convert, let them kind of play in their own game and work on just transition stuff. This drill was fantastic for us because it works on different scenarios. Running this at the end of practice when the kids are worn out and make them think. So if we're calling like horns 1 when we come down, it's really, really effective for us. So then we just got 3-on-2, 2-on-1. So we got 3-on-2 coming this way. Player who shoots it's on defense is 2-on-1. And then we'd have the lines on this end down here, and a make or miss. We got 3 new guys coming back on 2, and then 2-on-1, just continuous. Pretty simple, straightforward drill. One of my favorites to do, just to kind of get the transition blood flowing. So now we're going to look at some of the space and pace, flow and go stuff for us. We're not going to call this 5 game, but we called it last year, we called it 3 game because we want to have 3 guys handling it. But basically just 5-out dribble drive. We're not calling it anything this year. We're just our offense. So some people like to term some of the stuff. I've heard like Cal, I think, is one of the schools calls it. I don't like to really term it like that. So basically, there's 2 main areas. So in this one, we want to get downhill in the yellow area. That's where we're trying to get the ball downhill, scoring. And the scoring area is the green. That's where we want to go score the ball. It's pretty simple. That's all we have. It's all we're looking to do. So talk about some of the drives in this. So I'll zoom in on this so you can see. So the basic drive is basically take your guy if you can take him. If you can't take him, pass the ball and then cut. We want to try to put our head underneath the rim. So we put our head underneath the rim. What that does is it makes the defense basically have to play in front of you. So defense usually loses sight and loses contact. So here we got one just kind of attack. It's in a downhill area. kicks to 3 or kicks to 2 or 4. It doesn't really matter, whoever it is. And then afterwards, 1's going to make the basket cut and then fill out. 3 is going to try to drive off his butt and get downhill and go right behind him. 4 then fills, and on this one he's actually saying fill, fill, fill. So anytime we're coming, from behind like that, we're gonna yell fill, fill, fill. If it's a baseline scenario, we drive and the player drifts from the wing to the corner, we yell drift. If you're not moving, then you just yell 1 more, and that usually signifies that you're open. If you're a red shooter, you off ball cut or screen or drive. If you're a yellow shooter, which I believe we had. Yeah, I think last year we had it at, we do Charger 50, so do out of 50 shots, you had to hit 40 to be a green shooter, 30 to be a yellow shooter, anything under 30 you're a red shooter. So anybody under 30, which I believe equates 60% in practice, is going to be basically a red shooter, which means you are a driver, a cutter, and a screener. A yellow shooter is going to be where you have to hit 30 out of 50, so that's over 60%. In practice, 60 to 80%. Basically, you're a yellow shooter, which means if you're open, like wide open, you can shoot it. But if there's a green shooter who's near you or you hear 1 more, that means someone else is open, and then you're automatic an extra passer. And then green shooter means you got the green light, let it fly. Even if it's contested, it's pretty much going to be an automatic shot from that person. Last year we returned. We had 4 green shooters last year, 3 yellow, and then I think like 2 or 3 red. So that was a pretty good balance. We returned 2 of those green shooters. We'll probably add another 2 green shooters and then have 4 yellow shooters and 2 red right now. Those kids are still trying to get better and figure out where they stand, but that's kind of what our mentality with that is. So just so we have some of those rules in here. And then always three's going to drive and kick. He's going to put his head underneath the rim, clear out. 2 is driving off his butt, trying to get downhill into the scoring area. 5 is filling, saying fill, fill, fill. All right. Then here's a scenario would be a backdoor cut. So in this area, we want to have that space to backdoor cut in. So if like 2 is a red shooter, he would automatically be a backdoor guy. If he sees any hint of his player losing sight, he's automatic backdoor. That triggers it. 5 fills up behind. 3 still trying to drive. And the rule is it can get kind of congested or weird if 2 cuts and 3 drives right in that space. If the ball is being dribbled at you, get out of the way. It's on the player who is cutting to get out of the way, not the player driving. That's how we do it. All right, so we got drills and skill development and stuff. So some of the stuff that we do just to kind of get their blood moving and kind of get them to focus on different things. We might, like, depending if we have 12 guys on a team, we'll go 4 different baskets, 3 guys on offense, and just basically drive and kick continuous, filling different spots. So ball start up top, we drive in the lane, get a jump stop. We're a big jump stop. We don't have great skill, so we got to kind of out execute you. So we jump stop every time, jump stop kick. On any kind of catch, you want to pump fake, at least show the ball, show your eyes, and then rip and go through. On the rip, we want to go from ear to shoelaces. So we go ear down to the shoelaces. They'll never do that in a game or in practice most of the time, but if you get that in their head, what it does is automatically transfers their weight and automatically gets them from maybe just kind of catching and ripping to now they're catching and moving their body down and getting them automatically on balance if they try to touch their shoelaces and rip and go. Something that we've kind of adapted for the last week here or so that I heard in the clinic, and that was really good advice. Just kind of think of ear to shoelace. He did ear, shoelace to shoelace. I didn't like that because then I think we're ripping straight down and then across. I want to see a quick rip across from your body, basically shifting your weight and attacking that. So here we just do 3-man offense, drive, kick, jump stops, really just focusing on a lot of footwork, being ready on the catch, calling 1 more, communication, those kind of things. We almost use it as a warm-up. We do it from the slots too, so we'll have like wing or slot, wing, slot, corner, depending on where they start. And then they move around to different kind of locations and work on, if they're going to pass, put their head underneath the rim, then fill out quickly. Look to find different scenarios and things like that to kind of get them open and just work together as a 3-man unit too. We'll switch up the 3-man combinations and get them moving, things like that. We also do it from a 4-man standpoint, and then I think we build it to a 5-man standpoint as well. Drill we do is 1 more. We can add different things to this. It just depends. For the most part, we start off with 3 guys out and then the line. where that like initial wing line is right there, making the extra pass. Everybody's calling out one more. It's a rule, you have to call out one more. It's letting someone know you're open. So if you're in a game and you hear one more and you look at them, or if you hear it and you don't try to throw it or even look to throw it, you're probably coming out, because that means you're selfish. And that's one of the things we just won't tolerate, is that being selfish like that. So if you hear one more, unless you're a green shooter and you're open, obviously, but if you hear one more, we hear one more, and you look at them and just blow them off, you probably have a nice seat on the bench. Some things we do with this, we can do different entries. So we'll do like a wing to corner dribble handoff, drive in the lane, jump stop, kick to the top, make an extra pass, come off a side ball screen, come off a spread ball screen, get in, make an extra pass, different things. But as long as we're communicating the one more, and green shooters will shoot this shot, yellow shooters shoot this shot. Red will basically catch and do that rip and drive to the rim, 2-foot finish. We want to get them kind of comfortable with being drivers, especially if teams are going to play off the high school level. That means you can get downhill quicker and things like that. So we add different things to this drill as well. Now we got some decision-making stuff that I like to do. So we got wing drives, 2-on-2. So offense drives around the inside cone, defense goes on the outside cone. We're reading what 2 is going to do here. If 2 jump switches it, if 2 stunts and recovers, we're basically kind of reading, driving, and kicking, and we go from both sides. We add an extra guy in this drill, so now we're reading both guys in the eye, creating an advantage for the offense. We'll also flip this and create an advantage for the defense, so we play 3-on-3 on the side. Once the ball is passed or shot, obviously it's live, so we may convert down to the other end. We may add a rockets drill type scenario on this one, but just different things just to kind of keep them focused and interested. What we do is we make them score off second cuts. Second cuts is a part of Villanova's offensive scheme that we've stolen, that will basically we'll put them in a situation where the defense has the advantage here. So defense is coming on the inside, offense is on the outside. We basically make them get stopped. Once they're stopped, they have to jump stop. Then we have to score off a second cut. So 2 and 3 both have to make a second cut in different scenarios and read each other. One then has to be able to be strong with the ball, pivot, know what your pivot foot is, and try to score off a second cut, or just make a pass off a second cut. Once that pass is made off a second cut to get open, now we're live 3-on-3. Just another element, because most of the time, we're looking at perfect world. So in the perfect world, we're going to drive and score a layup, cool. But, 95% of the time, we're not going to get one pass and drive for a layup and score. And if we do, we don't really have to worry about what other teams doing. They're terrible. So what we're looking for is trying to create a situation where we're already at a disadvantage, because that's what's going to happen in a game. We're going to drive, we're going to jump stop, they're going to be covering, and they're better than us. We play teams that are better than us. So how do we beat those teams? Working on second cuts, getting open after the second cut, and now we're live 3-on-3. So we're basically just kind of continually, pumping that into their system of hey, we got to be able to be better at this. We got a second cut, jump stop, second cut. So that way when we get into a game and we play a team that is much better than us, and we're able to kind of adapt and continually play and continually jump stop second cut. So we got transition decision drill, 1-on-1. So we press full court too, so this works on a couple of things. 1-on-1 full court, staying in the right channel. So we split it into thirds, the right channel here. You try to turn them as many times as possible. We want to beat them down. As soon as the ball comes across half court, it's live 3-on-3. I like that drill. It gets a little transition. We got a diamond drill, so we got 3-on-2. So basically, the ball starts in the middle. 2 defenders. The 2 defenders are underneath the basket at the top of the 3-point line. We got a wing, and then a flat, and a general. Excuse me. So we start off basically as 3-on-1 with the trailer. And then we come back 2-on-1. So it's just another way for us to get a little creative with the guys and just kind of get them moving up and down the court. And then we got diamond here. Coach is going to pass to either one of the wing guys here. Again, defender at the 3-point line, defender at the underneath the rim. Coach passes to either player. That player busts out dribbles. We got a 2-on-1 with the trailer. And then we come back 2-on-2 in transition. We try to finish everything in transition and have it go full court, because that's how we play the game and how we want to speed teams up. So we got different kind of driving kick drills that we do. So here we got jump stop. So player starts with the ball in the wing. We add a defender. They jump stop. On that jump stop is when the defender jumps out and picks a player to defend. So that way we're actually practicing. We have to jump stop, be on balance, and now we're reading where the defense is going. So that way we're not just kind of like quickly throwing it, and then we'll also add a defender on this. So in this scenario, we would make one who jump stops here and passes to 3, x2, then takes 2. The guy who passed it would then close out on 3. So we're creating a long closeout. Then it's live 2-on-2. We got slot drives decisions. So you can have a defender basically defender in the middle of the two guys as the slots. The defender passing it. The defender who's in the middle at like the free throw line, he's not looking back. He's looking straight forward. So if the ball's back there, I'm looking straight forward. And when I look straight forward, that means the ball is coming to either one of these two guys, but you don't see it. So he's got to actually react to it. So he's got to react, and then the defender who passed it then closes out to the other guy who didn't pass to, and you're playing 2-on-2 from there. It's a reactionary drill for both the offense and the defense, and gets some good skill work in. And then we can do slot drives from that kind of decision making we already talked about, reading the defense with the offensive advantage or defensive advantage. Slot drives 4-on-4. So in this scenario, same thing we just talked about, except we add a guy in the corner on offense and defense, and we're playing live 4-on-4, and they got to talk about it and different things, and just works on some of our spacing and just defensive communication. Then we go 4-on-4 Rockets. So anytime we go Rockets, we add an extra offensive player for the team that's on defense, and then the same rules apply. Same scoring stuff applies in that. So we got some of the finishes and skills. So in this video, in this PDF, if you click on the video link here, it's actually going to take you to a YouTube video of layups, inside hand layups, Dragic finishes, reverse finishes, Nash finishes, Hezi, Euro step, jump stop, second cuts, and scoops. These are all the finishes that we work on every single day. We show them that early on in the off season. So that way they know what we're looking for. So if I tell my guys, hey, do a Nash finish, I don't teach it. If we have new guys coming in, so like first day of practice, I'll say, hey, we're doing a Dragic finish. The older guys or guys that have been in our skill development stuff are going to show everybody else and teach them what to do. I think one of the best ways in teaching it best way learning it and retaining it is to teach it to somebody else. We've been doing these every single day in our workouts. You'll probably see them in some of our footage. Just so that way we can teach them different types of finishes around the rim, being crafty, things like that, footwork. So now we're getting to some of our sets. So for our sets, we're actually going to keep it pretty simple this year. So fist is a spread ball screen, and I got into this a little bit in the ball screen clinic stuff that you guys hopefully watched and enjoyed. But at the high school level, we don't really get single side bump action or shake action as it's called. So what we do is we always run our spread ball screen towards this way. So the 5 will always come up, sprint up almost in the middle of the floor of the slot, and it's a slip. It's usually not even a ball screen because, my goodness, high school referees, if you're one, I'm sorry, but they are terrible at calling illegal screens. They cannot decipher what is an illegal screen and what's not. So we decide, screw that. We're not going to get our guy in foul trouble for no reason. We'll slip that guy as long as we're creating a 2 on the ball here. We're fine. At the 4 and the 2 positions, we put our 2 best shooters. Usually 2 is our best shooter. He always fills up behind here, and he fills as far as he can come over with it being reasonable. Basically, we just treat it like it's a drive and kick scenario after that, where 1 tries to turn the corner. We know the 3's defender isn't going to help here 99% of the time. If he does help consistently, it's a bad coach team. We don't have to worry about running plays. We can usually just score anyways. But here 1 comes off it, and his main read is go to the rim. That's his first option. Go to the rim. We didn't really even hit the roll man last year because defenses suck in so much at the high school level. So really we teach him go to the rim. If the 5-man's wide open, then yeah, you need to hit him and find him. But for the most part, we teach him reverse pivot, look to hit 2 or look to hit 4 because those guys filling up will be wide open. And then we run the same action against zone, which we'll get into in a little bit. So fist plus name is basically, so if we say like fist Alex, he'd be our shooter. We go name here, we go side ball screen emptied, have him pick and pop, and we basically just come off it, pick and pop for a 3. It's really effective in the high school level. It's super simple. Floppy, we do hand signal, we do floppy. Make sure you can actually see that. Yeah, so hand signal is floppy for us, and it's not. I mean, I stole it from the NBA. It's nothing fancy. 2 and 3 are the two best shooters in the court. We have a pecking order. 4 and 5 are screeners. We want their screens to be high up. So where they're actually at on this drawing is more appropriate. Where we want the screens to leave room for slips and for also kind of a backdoor reject read from the shooter. So we'll have like pecking order of shooter. Like right now, we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shooters in our top shooters. So in order of that, so if the top 2 shooters on the floor, we run floppy. That's who's in the floppy. Everybody else is screeners or a passer. And we just run this to death in practice the first few weeks. And it's an extremely effective set for us. We ran it for our best shooter 2 years ago, who's now at Rice, and he scored almost every time off of it, or at least had a good look off of it. And so we run that a lot. Head tap is our backdoor set. I don't know if I'm going to call it head tap this year. That was just what we called it last year. Once we've done it for 2 years in a row, so people are probably going to catch on to what we're doing. But essentially, it's just athlete at the 3, 2 is our shooter. He runs off a double screen on the baseline. 1 dribbles at that double screen, and then he's going to spin, reverse pivot, pick the ball up. Right, this is important. He's going to turn. As he turns, he's going to pick the ball up, look to hit 3. 3 is going to take 1 hard step, plant back door, and go back door for a layup. We're not just going to turn and throw it. We're going to turn, look, and kind of give like a pump fake, and then bounce pass, throw it. I don't know if I'm going to call it head tap or not. I haven't decided. So this is our horn series now. We changed up one of these plays to mesh with some of our offensive identity. But basically what we do is we have horns, sideline out of bounds, and baseline out of bounds are all the same plays. So our baseline out of bounds series starts 1-4 flat. So I'll start with that first and then backtrack. So we have baseline out of bounds 1. So you can see it's 1 and then 4 flat. So 5 cuts to the elbow, inbounder hits 5, 4 flashes the opposite elbow, and the 5 hits 4. Okay, we don't have a 5 or a 4, but that's the positions. We automatically want to do this every single time, and it sets up our next things. So then 1 steps in, it's a little flex action. 1 sets a cross screen for 2, 5 sets a down screen for 1, 4 chooses the best option. If no options there, we just flow right into our pace and space offense. Now 2, we're going to change it up, so I'll skip that real quick, but if you guys want to add that, you can. Same action. 5 lifts to the elbow, inbounder hits 5, 4 lifts to the elbow, 5 passes to 4. We got same cross screen, but instead of a down screen, it's a back screen, so a little bit of a counter. Honestly, we hardly even got to this option most times. I don't think we ran it maybe once. I don't even remember running it. Next one's 3. So this is where we built it. So we could have these basic counters built in versus pressure. So 5, we run 1, 2 or 3 times all game. We scored a couple times off of it, so they know it's coming. They know the inbounder, the guy closest to the inbounder is going to lift. They know both guys are lifting to the elbow. Okay, so we go 3, which is basically 5 is going to kind of fake like he's going up, take 1 hard plant on his outside foot, and go dive right to the rim. 1 then hits him for a layup 99% of the time. If he's not open for whatever reason, 4 is going to fill behind, 5 would fill to the other elbow, and then we're right into our 1 action. So 1 would step in, cross screen, down screen. And since it's the same plays, all the players know what we're doing. On 4, same initial action, 5 lifts to the elbow. We run 1, 2, 3 times. 4 has been cut into that elbow every time. So it's just a quick ball fake. 4 plants hard and goes back door. 3 fills up behind that, so his guy can't help. And we might get 3 a shot on that when teams cheat off of it at the high school level or over help. If, for whatever reason, 4 is not open, 4 would then fill out to the corner, 5 passes to 3, same cross screen, down screen action. And that was our main baseline out of bounds. So then when we go to horns, right, we have the same action, right? 1-4 low, 4 flashes to the elbow, 1 passes to 4, 1 clears through. So now the inbounder is now just our point guard at the top. So we flip them from the inbounds to up top. 1 cuts through, 4 hits 5 at the elbow, and then we got cross screen, down screen. We can flow into a spread, pick and roll, whatever we want to flow into. Horns 2, same action, hit 4 at the elbow, 1 cuts through, 4 passes to 5 at the elbow, 1 sets a cross screen and sets a back screen. We can go into a dribble handoff, spread, pick and roll, whatever you want to flow into. Horns 3, this is where we can get our quick counters at, right? Horns 3 is 1 dribbles towards like he's going to 4, right, at the opposite elbow, turns, spins, just like head tap, fake pass, then 4 cuts back door because they've caught on to, hey, they're flashing guys at the elbow each time. If 4 is not open for whatever reason, we can hit 5, or he'll just do like a post cut, or he's probably overplayed, so that means he's open at the elbow. Dump to him at the elbow. We're back in horns 1 basic action, flex, screen and screener. Horns 4, which is actually a little bit more effective out of this set, especially versus pressure. We hit 4 at the elbow, 1 cuts through. 5, he's flashed, and it's important that we get the flash to the elbow, because 5 then is a little flash to the elbow, a little pump fake again, just like based on a bounce. 4, he cuts back door. 3 fills up behind, just so, or lifts up, so that way he takes his man out of the picture. We usually got this. If it's not open, then 5 replaces himself. Post cuts, he's usually open because they overplayed, and then basic screen-to-screener action. And then we got same action for sideline out of bounds. We just do it a little bit. We do it from a box. So 5 and 4 are already at the elbows. So 3 then clears opposite. 1 passes to 5. 5 passes to 4. Now 2 just steps in and sets that little cross screen, comes off a down screen. 2 is the same action, just with the back screen. And then 3, we like to use this for like late game pressure, or if the team's really pressuring us. 5 fakes up and then goes back door. 4 replaces. 3 lifts up, replaces. 2 still steps out. So at the slap of the ball, basically, when the referee gets the ball, 2, 3, and 4 in this play, all 3 go at the same time and just sprint out. So they basically just get out of the way, clearing the paint, do a little ball fake. 5 goes back door, spins off his man back door, and goes for a layup. 4 then fill, 3 would then fill, and then we're same on sideline out of bounds, 1 action, reverse it, cross screen, down screen. 4, we've done the same thing 2 or 3 times. 1 hits 5. 5 looks like he's going to go past a 4. 4 takes 1 hard plant, cuts up. 3 lifts up, fills behind. If that's not there, swing it to 3, cross screen, down screen. You guys are probably getting the picture a little bit here. And then that's basically our sideline out of bounds and baseline out of bounds versus man. And we have different plays versus zone. But essentially, they're all the same plays. So right now, we've got 4 plays in 3 different formations, but they're the same play. So we got 4 plays now turned into 12 plays. So I would encourage you guys to kind of get creative with that, and how you can kind of adapt that. When I add the horns too, maybe I'll do like an updated playbook version for you guys, so you can kind of see that. Now I just want to look at a couple of zone sets. So this is baseline out of bounds. We run this versus in baseline out of bounds and non-baseline out of bounds. But I'm telling you, I promise you, if you are at the high school level, I don't know about college, if you're at the high school level and you run this play right, you will get an open shot 99% of the time. 99%. I've run this play in probably the last 3 years in AAU and in high school for the best shooter in the state of North Carolina last year and the year before that, right? And he would get open. He probably got open 65 out of 66 times. And the only time he wasn't open, we actually got a weak side guy slipping it. So this is what we call thumbs up. We'll probably change the call this year because people are on to us. They know our calls. So we'll probably do like a dummy call, or like maybe like a shirt grab, or brush your shoulder, or make it look like I'm scratching my neck. I'm confused. I don't know, whatever. So we still start off same 1-4 low. This is versus a zone. Sorry, thumbs up versus zone. Our shooter in this scenario is going to be opposite of the inbounder on the block, or in this scenario 2. Okay, so 1 passes to 3 in the corner, 5 cuts to the wing, 3 passes to 5, 2 fills to the top, 5 passes to 2, 4 fills up to the wing, 2 passes to 4, 1 is going to sprint opposite along the baseline in the corner, 4 passes to 1. So we've swung it all the way around. As this is going on, I'm saying swing it, swing it, swing it, swing it, right? Swing the ball, reverse it, reverse it, reverse it. In a zone, when the ball is being reversed, everybody in high school does this. The ball's in that corner, now they're looking over here. So while they're looking over there, what we do is we have the player who's our best shooter at the top of the key just slowly leak and run over to the opposite side of the floor. 3 and 5 then both set blind screens or flare screens on the 2 weak side guys in the zone. If it's a 1-2-2, 1-3-1, you just find the closest guys and screen their backs, right? 1 is going to take 2 hard dribbles or 1 hard dribble into the teeth of the defense and just throw an overhead skip pass to 2 for a shot. And I promise you, if you run this correct, and I have film, if you run this correct, you will get an open shot every single time. Every single time. We also run this in regular, so it would just start off. I wonder if I had this on here. So we just would start this regular, where the shooter would start in the middle, pass it to the wing to the corner, and swing it all the way back around. As it gets swung all around, I'm going to swing it, swing it, swing it, reverse it quick. 4 takes 2 hard dribbles. The shooter kind of fades to opposite wing, opposite corner, wherever they can shoot it from. Blind screens, open shot. So we run it from baseline out of bounds and regular. And then the last one we have is just our regular zone set. Versus zone offense, we just run the same 5-out dribble drive. That way we're not kind of preparing for different things. They want to throw whatever they want to throw at us. We're going to drive, get in the teeth of the defense. Our goal is to get to the rim anyways and beat you down the court. So we're not going to change what we do. You can play a 1-3-1, you can play a 2-1-2, 2-3, 1-2-2. We want to tell our players with the same mindset no matter what. If a team goes 2-3 zone, though, you'll kill them with this set. We just go fist again. In this scenario, we want to kind of make contact, though. We want to make X1 actually have to make a X1, X2 have to actually make a decision. So 1 comes off hard, attacking X2. X2 is getting bumped by 5, and he's going to stay with them just a little bit. And where we get the most shots is off this 2 filling and then making an extra pass to 4. Because usually in this scenario, X4 and X1 kind of suck in. 5 is going to step over because the ball's over here. 2 is going to take the ball. So now we're basically on the weak side playing 2-on-1. Because X1 gets sucked in here. So now we're playing 2-on-1 on the weak side against X4. One of the most effective sets we've ran against a zone. We usually just run this over and over and over again until we get a bucket out of it. If not, we just run a regular zone offense. The only thing we'll change up a little bit against the zone is the cutter action. Maybe have them turn and hold in the middle of the zone for 1 or 2 seconds, and then get out. So that way we're kind of getting that inside zone ball movement where you get it inside, get it back outside. And that's basically what we're going to do this year for offensively. If you guys have any questions, please shoot me a text. And my cell phone number is 919-665-9093. Shoot me a text, give me a call, chat with me, tell me what you think about it. If you have any questions about what we do or what I'm going to do, things like that. And if I have any updates for you guys, I might just do a quick video and send you guys updates or some practice film, things like that. Any other way I can provide value for you guys, let me know. If you want to see any edits or anything, any requests or anything like that, just give me a text, give me a phone call, and we'll go from there. You can also email me, gibson.piper.13@gmail.com. If you need anything else, let me know. Look forward to basketball season getting started, though. Really excited about this and my new offense. I might give some updates along the way, do like a weekly show, things like that for you guys, what I'm seeing, what I'm adding, what I'm taking away, whatever I'm doing. Thanks for you guys for checking this video out. I'll catch you next time.